But even just like learning about, I didn't know before that this book made him famous. And it's interesting because, he knew that this book would probably ruffle feathers, but at the same time, he felt like he needed to write it and he wanted to write it. And I remember he talks about how he was working as a chef then, and he would wake up several hours early every morning, light a cigarette, and then just start writing.
Mm.
Um, but I think that kind of speaks to this first idea where sometimes you're sort of being pulled in a certain direction, or you're sort of being called to do something, and it's going to ruffle feathers. So that's like the choice that you have to make. Am I going to follow through with this and do it? Or do I not want to ruffle feathers, or do I not want to cause controversy? But I think we probably have to agree that most people who end up reaching some sort of heights in their career, they take those points and follow through on those sort of like tension points where they could have stopped and been like, no, this is gonna, he even says like writing this book, he feels like it's gonna jeopardize his career. People
Yeah.
might not want to hire him again because of how revealing it is about the
Yeah.
industry and the culture. But that's very interesting. Even the step to write and to publish this was kind of an almost an unknown. He didn't know what he would get out of it. He almost got the opposite of what he was expecting in some ways, which is actually actual success, right?
Yeah, it's very interesting because it is like that is like one of the final things that he says in the book. It's just like this is going to be a telltale of like my bosses of whether or not they are a true fans of the industry, if they can me or not. And he didn't get canned; he just became a public icon. Like, you know what I mean? It was very just by doing and telling his own story and kind of
Yeah.
revealing those open things and being authentic. And I think that's the number one
Mhm.
thing that I really, really appreciate about this book and why I like it so much is because there is so much authenticity. It is such a negative, maybe not negative is the best word, but it's a grueling
Accurate.
environment, an accurate and
Yeah, his
grueling environment
portrayal.
that they're the and portrayal of this industry. Something that you don't necessarily, or I would have never necessarily known about prior to reading this or being exposed to this in that way. And I believe a lot of people, other than if they had people like either worked in it or knew people within the industry. So it's just very interesting to just kind of I don't know, be that authentic with yourself and with the world, and how well that translates, because it is somebody that you can directly relate to some point. Again, being that this man, I think when he finally published it, I think he was in his 40s, like late 30s, early 40s.
That was inspiring to me as well, because that's another thing where, and some of the other, so we've covered Matthew McConaughey and we've covered Mindy Kaling, and I think both of them found success at, again, I put that in quotes, but both of them reached some sort of, uh, uh, um, achieved some goals in their careers well before
Yes.
they had reached the 40 mark.
Yes.
So to learn that this book was actually released when he was a little bit older, I actually found quite inspiring.